With cotton picking fully underway in the US, there's people from California to Florida and Texas to Illinois trying to get the most out of their valuable machines. Now, I've been getting asked a little bit for some tips on optimizing the machines, particularly reducing door blocks. So I thought I'd put up a quick YouTube with 3 of the major tips that we've picked up in Australia for reducing door blocks in high yielding cotton. Here they are. In 2022 in Australia, the first year of the CP770s, we really struggled for airflow and we were pretty much struggling to get 2 miles an hour without door blocks. So pretty much the whole fleet ended up putting the smaller diameter stripper pulley from the CS770 into our CP770s. That made major gains and got us moving well, but these next 3 tips really optimized the machines and got us so that we could do full hydro 4.6 miles per hour in up to 6 bale to the acre cotton. In 2023 the machines came better set up, different drive, different pulley. Some people reduced that diameter a little bit, but the 2023 machines were a whole lot better. So all our 2022 fleet is running the stripper pulley, but these next 3 tips will all make incremental improvements to really get you humming. Door blocks are a real productivity killer and they are very annoying to the operator. They cost you time just getting out and fixing it in the first place, but you generally have to accept a slower ground speed to avoid having block after block, and that's where you're really losing your productivity. So tip number 1 to reducing them is to seal up all the little gaps in the chutes and the venturi nozzles, and trim those big air hoses to their minimum length with the heads down at operating height. That gives the air more of a straight run to them, and it does make quite a difference. I'll show you. So this is the machine at St George that they've done the amazing sealing of the air system, and I was in it last night after dark, 7.4 k's an hour in 14.5 bale cotton with no door blocks. It really is working amazingly. So we've shortened the 6-inch tube to its minimum when the heads are down. We've sealed around this nozzle, inside and out. All of these joints have been sealed up. Anywhere that we can lose air in here, they actually haven't done this one yet. It's got a small gap opening up. That could get sealed, as well as silicone around these. So all that effort is adding up to higher ground speed and less door blocks. It's really worth it. John Deere knows that chute 2 and 3 are the weakest. The 2022 machines, it was chute 2. The modifications to the chutes that we got in Australia for the 2023 machines improved chute 2 quite a bit, and the weaker chute is now chute 3. So chute 2 and 3 both deserve special attention. Now that you don't need to pull chute 2 apart to service the cab air in the 770s, some people are using expanding foam to fill the big air gaps in that joint. And chute 3 has a bit of a loose joint up in under the cab also. That is getting sealed up on plenty of machines. Tip number 2 for reducing door blocks in a cotton picker is to widen the front pressure door out to up to 1/2 inch from the spindle tip to the pressure door. The operator's manual suggests a range of 1/8 to 1/4 inch, but we are finding up to 1/2 inch in higher yielding cotton is still picking the plant clean, but giving us less door blocks. The operator's manual suggests 2 holes pressure for the front pressure doors, but we're finding reducing it to 1 hole and even 1/2 hole in extreme cases is letting that bit more cotton through to the back drum and giving us less door blocks. Tip number 3 is to experiment with less solution pressure, so long as your spindles are remaining clean. There's a clear link between too much pressure in your nozzles and door blocks. You get reminded of it, or I do, any night that you forget to start reducing your pressure as evening approaches and you end up with that door block around dark. With the CP770s, I found myself using more solution pressure than was needed because I was reluctant at first to use that 5% setting, thinking that the nozzles wouldn't even keep their spray pattern at 5%. But on looking at the chart in the operator's manual, you realise that the 5% setting is actually delivering 2/3 of the 100% setting. So think of it as 5% of the range of the nozzles, not 5% of the total flow. So if I'm in conditions like these trials where the gaps cause increased door blocks, I'm okay with dropping the pressure to 5% for an hour or two, keeping the flushes up at each end and just monitoring that the spindles stay clean. Chute blocks, I remember last year it being pretty traumatic, so I've actually got my water on 5%, doing the flush each end, and it's working good. I'm not getting blocks, but I'm only doing 5.4 Ks. I could have done 7 in here, but just going to lead to lots of chute blocks as you cross these empty spots. If you have a gappy plant stand, it does make door blocks more likely and generally forces you to pick at a slower ground speed. Teaching operators to scan for big gaps in plants and slowing momentarily is one of the topics I cover in my Cotton Picker operator training course, which will be available in the USA for pre-season 2024. Back in spring or early summer, I'll just slow down to re-enter the cotton so I don't get a block. Yeah, that's what that is, lightning. For more tips and info on the course, subscribe to my YouTube or find me at Real Skills Ag Training on Facebook, or find me on Instagram or LinkedIn. Cheers.